Hello, everyone. Welcome. And those of you who don't know me, my name is Yukti Rao. I'm a women's empowerment and life coach. And I'm here today to talk to you about how to break patterns in your life, behavior patterns, relationship patterns. Welcome. And those of you who don't know me, my name is Yukti Rao. I'm a women's empowerment and life coach. Sorry about the echo that showed up because the YouTube turned on the other side. Well, let's talk about patterns first. What are patterns? Well, they are patterns that you see cosmically in life and in the universe, but they're also patterns you see in your life. That's what we're going to talk about today. You may have a pattern repeating in a relationship. For example, I have teen kids who don't clean their room, and if I yell at them every time, it may result in them cleaning the room once, but it doesn't show repeated behavior. So that is a repeated pattern of behavior between the two of between us. Or you may have a repeated pattern at work. For example, you end up at a workplace where you're always working extra hard and not getting credit for it. Or you feel like you're not getting your due. Or in your relationship, you end up fighting about the same thing over and over again. Or this is one that many of us have. You have the same spending pattern or a relationship with money that you want to transform. So we all have different patterns in our life. Some work, some don't. It's the ones that don't work that causes angst and pain. So I'm here to talk about that really quickly to you, because when they actually causes angst and pain, that means that is a pattern that has outlived its usefulness. We want to actually transform it and change it. But how do you know it's a pattern you want to transform and change? The first step to changing a pattern is recognizing a pattern. Many of us don't even see it and recognize it. It's actually something that's kind of hidden from us because it's happening to us in our blind spot or in our subconscious space. So we are not able to see it. So the first step is actually recognizing the pattern. For recognizing the pattern, we have to have the awareness and be the observer of our own self or our own life to be able to recognize that pattern, which is possible if you step back from the situation and be able to see the overall view. There are a number of tools you can use for that: meditation, journaling, tapping, working with somebody so that you can actually they can actually see you, because sometimes when you're in the midst of the pattern, you cannot actually see it at all. So that is the first step: recognize the pattern. The second step, and I'm looking at my notes as we talk just to make sure I don't miss anything, is once you recognize it, you have to stop resisting it. For example, if you're constantly fighting with your spouse over something again and again, and it results in the same behavior on both sides again and again, and you are resisting the fact that he or she isn't changing, while when you want something, you're resisting what is actually happening. Or you want something to not happen a certain way, and you keep doing the same thing over and over again, but it keeps happening the same way. Remember what Einstein said? This is his quote. He says, if you repeat the same behavior, you're going to get the same result, essentially. That's what he says, right? If you repeat the same behavior, you will essentially get the same result. So you stop resisting. But to stop resisting, you have to first acknowledge what role you're playing in the pattern and acknowledge how you're feeling and what's happening. And accept it. Not beat yourself up about it, not blame somebody else about it, just accept it. That is stopping resistance. When we're resisting something, we're trying to control the situation. Usually that's a good indication when you're trying to control a situation that you're resisting something. And when you're resisting something, it is because you're uncomfortable with it. You're uncomfortable with feeling something, or you're uncomfortable with the situation, the behavior. It's actually bringing up a fight, flight, or fawn response in you. That means your nervous system's a little ragged and jagged, which makes it hard for you to stop resisting it and acknowledge and accept it. So you do have to use additional tools like meditation, journaling, tapping, these are good tools to actually help you stop resisting it. Or even using your breath. That is one of the most powerful tools you can use to actually calm your nervous system down so you can stop resisting and accept. Once you do that, that's your second step. First was recognize the pattern. Second was stop resisting, which is all about acknowledging and acceptance. The third step is to actually shift it. Now, to shift it may seem easy. For example, you can choose not to eat ice cream every day, and you can train yourself to shift that by saying, hey, I'm not going to eat ice cream today, or I'm going to eat ice cream only on Sundays. But there are times when your body is like triggering and saying, but I want ice cream now. So what happens in that moment? That's when you shift it. That's when you go back to your breath, or you go back to your feeling and see, why do you want that ice cream? What is going on that is actually triggering that need for that ice cream? And that's when you start doing the shift. But to shift it, you do need, especially bigger things, you do need to calm down your nervous system. Shifting something without actually calming yourself down, actually integrating your nervous system becomes very hard. It becomes all about discipline, motivation, and hard work. And it works to a certain degree, but then it doesn't. Because once you see a pattern and you do something differently this time, it doesn't mean it goes away. After all, repetition is the mother of learning, and you have repeated that old pattern so often that your mind and body has actually learned that pattern. So now to shift it, you have to teach your mind and body a new pattern. And to do that, you have to make your mind more malleable and your nervous system calm. So both your mind and body have to be in alignment, and it starts with your body first. Very often we talk about the mind being the one that actually starts, but the mind follows the body. Interesting, isn't it? So you actually do that, and then you have to repeat that process a few times, and it gets easier and easier and easier. And that is how you shift the pattern. You rinse and repeat. Sounds simple enough, right? I invite you to actually look at one pattern in your life today, something that is triggering you, something that is bothering you, a behavior that you see being repeated, maybe something in a relationship, maybe a behavior you repeat at work, maybe it's procrastination, maybe you worry too much, maybe you feel sad because your friends don't include in something and you're unable to speak up. Maybe it's just you get angry easily in certain situations. Your feelings are a good indication that your feelings are a good way for you to look at patterns. Because if you're feeling something repeatedly that you don't want to feel, it's a good time to go in. The feeling is just a messenger trying to show you something that needs to shift. So I invite you to do that in your life today. And I am offering one-on-one laser coaching just for this week in celebration of Mother's Day. Today is May 18th, so this special ends Sunday for 50% off, a 1 hour one-on-one laser coaching session, just a single session, which I usually don't offer, for $333, or you can sign up for a 1.5 hour session for $44. No, $444. Let me fix that. This is only for this week, and this is a special. I don't offer one-on-one, one-off laser coaching sessions often, but I am very good at detecting patterns and shifting them. I've done a lot of that work in my life, and having a logical engineering brain combined with the coaching mindset, I am good at recognizing the patterns and then doing the work, helping you do the work to shift it quickly and effectively. All right. Thank you for listening. Again, this is Yukti Rao, and I am a women's empowerment and life coach, and I hope to hear from you. If you're interested in this special, just leave me a message or DM me saying interested, and I'll get back to you.